Of course, gambling, among other things, can become an addiction. Addiction for the host being compulsive as opposed to conscious thought and behavior. In case of addiction, the hosts are in need of professional help. Help for those, for them to become still and stable like a mountain. One needs a stable foundation so that if needs be, she will be able to explode without incident. Recently, Mexico suspended the operations of 13 casinos, citing that it was due to suspected money laundering and linkages to organized crime. Notwithstanding, gambling is psychosocial. Many who are addicted to gambling are the ones least able to afford it. Doing something for my pastime, pleasure and enjoyment is one thing. However, those with the philosophy that someone has to lose in order for them to win, those who live their lives by comparison, are living in misery. The concept of hard only enters one's psyche when she is making comparisons. When there was no running water, carrying water by the bucket was never perceived as hard. I'm telling you, I was born in the 60s. That was my experience. Before there was electricity, studying with kerosene lantern was not perceived as hard. You had nothing to compare it with. Well-being is all-encompassing. It includes wellness in body, energy system, thought, and emotion. So, society at large, and in particular the rank and file, need inner engineering so people realize that peacefulness and joyfulness are mental, and that to be in a blissful state, an ecstatic state of mind, are feelings you generate from within yourself. All experiences are generated from within a person. They don't come from the environment outside. It's a misunderstanding for those trying to squeeze pleasure out of the environment when they should be taking 100% control over themselves, making all their emotions sweet and pleasant. Happiness does not discriminate between the rich and the poor, haves and have-nots. Doing inner engineering is consciously bringing your body, mind, and spirit under one roof and governing by your spirit instead of remaining a pleasure seeker going around in life cycles unable to get your intended destination. In order to see progress in your life, my friend, in your career, you've got to break the cycle. Have your body, energies, thought, and emotion go in one and the same direction without wavering, until you realize your goal and reach your ultimate destination. God and government, the government of beliefs, for example, and parliamentarians can help the society at large by displaying integrity, wanting for everyone else the same things they want for themselves, having acceptance as a standard, not tolerance. A husband and wife that only tolerate each other will likely end in divorce. The Belize Constitution already affords the citizenry equal rights. Parliamentarians need to enact legislation and policy to reflect that on the ground, accepting people with their psychological drama as well as their existential reality, regardless. Having one standard for the entire society is the constitutional right. That's our right. With equal right comes equal opportunity. The state must bring an end to discrimination in all its forms. God has given people their freedom of choice. The Belize Constitution, the supreme law of our land, grants them equal rights. Can you imagine that instead of operationalizing equal rights for all on the ground, government was pushing a so-called 13th Amendment that would have taken away citizens' constitutional rights, a measure that is nothing short of criminal. It is criminal to take laws that make laws that take away people's constitutional rights. We know what the problem is. Policymakers are hamstrung by their popes and bishops. The tail is wagging the dog, which is a disgrace. Let me say this to you as an individual. Whereas you cannot control the environment, given others have a say-so, take 100 control over yourself. A home needs stability, an environment conducive and healthy for children to grow up in, not necessarily comparing themselves to the Joneses, but living within their means, being content with what they have, and being happy regardless. Therefore, let it be so, yeah. Ita wala, gan. Kaya si saya. Ayo.